Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us for our 2:30 streaming show. I'm Jamie French.
And I'm Robinson Miles. We start off today with new information from Hopkins County. Sherway Supermarket in Madisonville is set to close their doors next month. According to employees, the store will be closing by the end of March. Madisonville city officials reported that in the early to mid-1970s, Sherway found a home in the Martin Mall after relocating from West Knoll Avenue.
Now, as of now, employees haven't disclosed why the supermarket is closing, but of course, they've been there for over 30 years, and it's quite the staple. So as soon as we learn more, we'll, of course, keep you updated.
Now, for our second story, we're moving now to Bosse High School, where tonight, one of the country's youngest freedom riders will share his story of civil rights advocacy. In 1961, Hezekiah Watkins was arrested and placed on death row at age 13 when he entered the whites-only section of a bus station in Jackson, Mississippi.
Yeah, and when he was released, he began a life of activism and commitment to justice, and he's been arrested over 100 times since. Now, by speaking at Bosse tonight, he is hoping that he can show the next generation what sacrifices were made for equality. Our Emma Beck was there for his speech, so she's going to have more on his story tonight on 14 News.
Now, for those of you caffeine heads out there, good news for you. Yeah, not so subtle point at my friend here. Another place to get your fix is coming to downtown Owensboro's waterfront. The Hampton Inn and Suites in downtown Owensboro is transforming its first and second floors. A new full-service Starbucks will be open on the first floor, replacing the former bourbon shop.
Yeah, it'll be open to hotel guests and the public. Plus, the second floor will also feature a new fitness center. The Starbucks official opening date will be announced closer to completion. Big one for Owensboro. I mean, they don't have a Starbucks downtown. So, I mean, this is another place to get that morning cup of coffee. Or if you're like me, afternoon cup of coffee and then late night cup of coffee.
Big news for the jittery among us.
Yes, me.
All right, well, that's going to round things out for us right here. Of course, there is a lot more happening around the tri-state right now. Our reporters and photographers are all over, so be sure to circle back again for 14 News at 4, 5, 6, and, of course, tonight at 10.
All right, do not go anywhere. Meteorologist Arden Gregory will be right back with a check at your 14 First Alert forecast right after the break.
Stay informed on your local news and weather throughout the day by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows. At 8:30 a.m., get your First Alert forecast to plan the day ahead and catch up on the news that happened overnight with the 14 News Sunrise team. In the afternoon, get the latest headlines, forecasts, and a preview of the stories we're working on with the 14 First Alert streaming show at 2:30. And get an in-depth look at the 14 First Alert forecast so you're ready for the next big thing with the 14 First Alert weather show at 9 p.m. Watch the 14 First Alert streaming show that fits your schedule and works best for you. Streaming on your phone by downloading the 14 News app and the 14 First Alert weather app. On your smart TV by using the 14 News streaming app. And stream anytime on Facebook, YouTube, or on 14news.com. Stay connected and stay informed by watching the 14 First Alert streaming shows on your favorite streaming devices.
Good afternoon. I'm 14 First Alert meteorologist Arden Gregory, and this is a live look at the Blue Bridge in Owensboro. You can see some clouds off in the distance there, so some patches of blue sky overhead right now. What we're tracking moving forward is today is going to be kind of partly to mostly cloudy at times, a little on the chilly side, but actually warmer than average for this time of year and mainly dry. We've had a few sprinkles on the northern end of the tri-state. That's about it. The next big thing we're tracking is this weekend. We are going to have just soaking rain this weekend, but You know, a lot of the time after rain moves through, we'll see a drop in our temperatures. That's not going to be the case this time. In fact, very spring-like weather returns as we get into next week. So we've got a nice little warm up on the way. Let's start with what's going on out there right now. As I said, some parts of the tri-state are seeing a little blue sky and sunshine, others dealing with clouds. As you get on the far northern edge, places like Wabash, Gibson, Pike, or Du Bois counties may even see a stray sprinkle or two, but most of us are dry, and it's going to stay mainly dry through the rest of the day today. As for our temperatures, ranging in the upper 40s to low 50s right now, Evansville, Newburgh, Henderson, and Owensboro all sitting at 50 degrees even, but we're pretty close to our high for the day. We may tack on just another degree or so, but then our temperatures will gradually start to fall back through the 40s this evening, then through the 30s overnight, eventually bottoming out in the upper 20s to right around 30 degrees by the end of tonight into early Friday morning. Friday is going to be sunny and a little warmer with temperatures climbing into the mid-50s. We then stick with the mid-50s through the weekend, but notice rain is likely from Saturday afternoon through Sunday morning, so we may have some soggy weather on the way for Valentine's Day weekend. Let's talk about it. As I said, I wouldn't rule out a stray sprinkle mainly on the northern edge of the tri-state this afternoon, but most of us are going to stay dry. The clouds will gradually clear overnight, and tomorrow will be sunny with a warmer wind starting to come in from the south-southeast. So that plus the sunshine is what's going to push us into the mid-50s tomorrow. Friday night, though, the clouds roll back in, and by Saturday morning, it'll be cloudy, but I think we'll start out dry. The rain then starts to push in from the west sometime Saturday afternoon. Some of the models have this rain moving in early in the afternoon, more like 12 or 1 o'clock. Others don't have the rain getting here until, 5 p.m. So there's a bit of a range there that we're still narrowing down, but sometime Saturday afternoon, we will have rain pushing in from the west. Then it just kind of spreads across the tri-state Saturday evening, and we're looking at widespread soaking rainfall overnight Saturday night. Good sleeping weather, right? I love a good rainy night. That rain will stick with us into Sunday morning, but it doesn't hang around all day. Those showers start to push off to the southeast by about lunchtime on Sunday, and then we'll see clearing skies Sunday afternoon and evening. Now, anytime we talk about rain, one of the first questions we always get is, well, are there going to be thunderstorms, and are there going to be any severe storms? I would say the answer to both is probably no. Notice the tri-state not even outlooked for general run-of-the-mill storms. Any chance of severe weather is going to stay way to our south. Saturday, that'll be focused kind of mainly over eastern Texas into Louisiana, and then as that slides eastward on Sunday, the severe weather threat on Sunday will be more over Mississippi and Alabama. But notice even the risk of just general run-of-the-mill thunderstorms doesn't reach us. I really think this is just going to be rain for us, but it is possible we could see pockets of heavy rain. When you look more specifically just at the flooding risk, not the severe storm risk, but the flooding risk, that is, again, focused mainly to our southwest, stretching from kind of the boot heel of Missouri down through Arkansas and toward the northeast corner of Texas there. But notice that level 1 risk just barely reaches up into the tri-state. So it is possible. It's a very, very isolated chance. We're barely even included in that level 1 risk, but there is just that level 1 potential for some flooding, and that would mainly be in low-lying or poorly drained areas. Really, the heavy rain is likely to stay to our southwest. Places like Arkansas would really be at the greater risk, and into parts of Tennessee. Here at home, we're all pretty solidly in these blue shades here, so probably sitting right around an inch of rain from Saturday afternoon through Sunday morning. So again, that's a good soaking rainfall, but really we have not had much precipitation. It may not feel that way because we had all that snow and then it took it a long time to melt because it was so cold, but snow really stacks up. When you look at the ratio of how much water was actually in that snow, it was less than an inch of actual liquid. So even as it's melted down now, It may be a little muddy out there just because it's been kind of damp for a long time, but it's really not that much water. We're actually in unusually dry, borderline drought conditions right now. So we can take an inch of water, no problem. The concern would be those low-lying, poorly drained areas that if it rains just a little too hard, tend to flood really easily. Those are the spots I would watch out for this weekend. And another thing to keep in mind, I know that while most of the snow has melted, there are still those piles of snow that haven't melted yet. If they plowed your road and there's a pile of snow on top of a storm drain, that may be a concern because then that water isn't going to have anywhere to flow to. So be on the lookout for that. Once we get through this weekend, it's really pretty smooth sailing. We actually warm back up then. As we get into next week, we're looking at temperatures in the 60s. We may catch a stray shower Wednesday night into Thursday morning, but I'm not totally sold on those rain chances yet. There's a good chance we'll end up staying dry. But I mean, just take a moment to appreciate these temperatures. We had such a stretch of cold weather at the end of January into the start of this month. But now through the next 7 days, our temperatures are going to be running 10 to 20 degrees above average. Normally this time of year our highs would be in the mid to maybe upper 40s. Instead, we're talking about the mid 50s tomorrow through this weekend and then breaking into the 60s as we get into next week. So that's some exciting stuff. Taking a look at the comments real quick. Zach asking about severe weather. At this time, we're not expecting any severe weather in the Evansville area this week or next week, Zach. As of right now, no severe weather in the forecast. Good afternoon, Cheyenne. Yes, Dee says, let it rain and come on 60s. I agree with that. We could use some rain. We got, a pretty decent amount of snow, but we haven't had just a good rainy day in a while. And like I said, I'm looking forward to some good sleeping weather Saturday night with some, nice steady rain falling on the roof there. Looking at the extended outlook, so I just showed you how warm it's going to be over the next 7 days. Looking beyond that, from February 20th through the 26th, so this is looking ahead to next weekend now. The trend is still above average temperatures, as well as near to maybe slightly above average precipitation. We're not currently outlooked for any kind of hazards. If you widen out the view, areas off to our west are outlooked for potentially high winds. And those areas in purple are outlooked for possible heavy snow by the end of next week. But here in the tri-state, we're not currently outlooked for any threats. So sunny, beautiful day tomorrow. Sunny, mid-50s, not bad at all for mid-February. We do have that rain likely from Saturday afternoon through Sunday morning. Maybe heavy rain at times, but no thunderstorms, no severe weather expected. Just watch out for some ponding on some of those poorly drained roads. Then as the rain moves out, we warm things up with temperatures in the 60s as we go through next week. And even beyond that, as we get into next weekend, the general outlook is still above average temperatures. But again, we may have near to slightly above average precipitation. We could have more rain on the way as we get into next weekend. So that's something we'll keep an eye on for you. All right, I'm not seeing any other questions in the comments, so hopefully I already answered all your questions. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Meteorologist Michael Fecca will have an updated look at your forecast on 14 News tonight at 4, 5, 6, and 10, and he'll have another streaming show for you tonight at 9, so tune in then. And if you do have any questions, he also keeps an eye on the Facebook comments, same way I do. So if you do have any questions, comment on that Facebook Live video later tonight at 9, and he should be able to answer those for you. And he should have some updated data too. We'll get some fresh data between now and then, so he may have a more localized and kind of down to the minute view of what's going on this weekend by later tonight. So I hope you'll tune back in then. All right, thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.